What up, y'all? Welcome back to Apps Corner. I'm a random guy on the internet that gives random advice to random people for better or worse. Let's dive right in. Let's see, start with the first one here. Why does every girl on Tinder look the same? Ooh, it's going to be a good one. This person says, I'm going to have a crack at this because I have a theory about it. Not every girl on Tinder looks the same, but in my local area there have a lot of identical vibes. Mostly it's fairly harsh or heavy makeup, wearing that dress that does X shape over the chest area. They'll all be holding a glass of wine in their right hand. Cheers. Picture probably before they're about to go out, usually a tan. Definitely fake because I live in Scotland where we should all be pasty white. So the question is why? Simple answer is I believe trends. Dude, we ain't even got to read the rest of this poop. You already nailed it, bro. Trends, filters, right? Trends, filters, trying to look good on the internet. You already know. To show I'm different from other guys, my profile includes a picture of me holding a fish in front of a truck. Dude. You should hold a truck in front of a fish. Not a bad idea. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Because nobody has any originality left. Everybody thinks that you can just slap on a filter and whoop-de-doo, you're the best fucking thing since sliced bread, which, come on, false. We know when you're using filters. I don't know, because I don't really care. I don't look on the internet that much. But shit. A filter is a filter, man. You can spot that shit. Why? No originality. Case closed. Ooh, here's a juicy one. My boyfriend was looking through my phone while I was sleeping. That's a red flag. So this morning I woke up, my boyfriend was looking through my phone. We've been together for almost 3 months. Apparently I was talking in my sleep saying I cheated on him, which I swear up and down I did not do. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. He looked through my phone, found nothing, and then when I woke up, he put my phone down immediately. Obviously, he didn't find anything, and he is always welcome to look through my phone whenever, but I feel betrayed that he used Face ID while I was sleeping. Good Lord. So that he could go through my conversation. I'm just going to highlight this right here. He is normally very against going through phones, which he made clear. Well, I guess he wasn't against it that time, huh? I just don't know what to do with these feelings. Whew, let's start with the Face ID thing. You guys are giving away all your biometrics, and granted, yeah, I mean, they got my face, they got my prints, probably got yours too. But the less people have your biometrics, the better. I mean, the biometrics are like an unfakeable, unspoofable, identical marker that only correlates to you. So when people get these things, get their hands on these things, they can get into systems and become you. It makes it easier for identity theft. So if you're doing all this Face ID, fingerprint, axe that. Also, the fact that dude used Face ID on you when you were sleeping, come on. I think there's more of the story than is being told. But here's my take on it. I just don't know what to do with these feelings. I would tell him, hey, don't do that again. If you don't trust me, then we got to split. Because again, what do we always say? Trust is the bedrock of all the relationships you're going to have. To have a conversation with him about literally using your face while you're sleeping to log into your phone. That's kind of fucked up. Straight up. And if you can't respect your space, case closed. Leave. Ooh, here's a good one for the TikTok. We normally don't cover any of the TikTok reactions, but we'll try. We'll give it a shot.
I just had the most infuriating conversation with my mother, who is a boomer, who owns her own business,
okay,
and is complaining how she cannot.
It's pretty common in this day and age.
Cannot keep good workers. My mom owns a landscaping company, and her clients are like live in multi-million-dollar mansions. She doesn't just like cut grass; like she builds beautiful botanical gardens, like Japanese tea houses, imports stone, builds terraces, puts in.
Well, I'm gonna pause this. Put my headphones on. Okay, we're back with headphones. Let's go.
Puts in fountains and like, you know, like palm trees and shit. Like her gardens are, some of them are like $500,000 gardens that she's installing into these people's homes. And in the past couple of years, she's had so many complaints about how she can't find good people. She had a slew of people steal from her last year. Like she had one girl who was like, you know, a heroin addict, and she had another girl who like
I'm just going to stop before we get to the end of this video. If you got heroin addicts working for you, your hiring practices are probably either shitty, or two, You don't know how to vet people.
Defrauded her for like $10,000, like all of this like fraud and problem, because she keeps having issues finding and retaining good people. And recently she asked me to write some copy for her and do some like ad work, and she's like, I know what we need like all these young people, they want to work at a fun work environment, and they need like, we need to make a brochure or like an ad with like happy smiling teenagers on the front. That's how we're...
Dude, people are so out of touch with what people actually need to work a job. I don't care about smiling people on the front of some brochure. I don't care about anything except money. Show me the money, dog.
Gonna get them to work for me. I'm like, Mom, let me ask you a question. How much are you paying these people?
She's right on the money. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below.
And she's like, well, I start them out at $12 an hour. And I'm like, well, that's your problem. That's why you cannot retain good people. No amount of clever ad work by me, or pizza parties, or foosball tables in the conference center is going to keep people at your, at your company if you're paying them $12 an hour.
Okay, here's another one, right? I don't give a damn about pizza parties, and I don't play foosball, and the last thing I want to do is sit around and have a social event at work. I come to work to make money, and then when I'm not at work, I'm going home and I'm hanging out with my family. I don't hang out with people from work. There's a reason for that. You don't shit where you eat.
Like $12 an hour is what I got paid as a lifeguard in high school in like...
I started off at $7.25 at McDonald's, and that was back in like 2016 or some shit like that. Even farther back than that. No, even way farther back than that. That was like... Damn, I want to say like the 2010s, early 2010s.
2001. Like, as a lifeguard. That's not the wage. You cannot have that wage anymore. I was like, Mom, look, you couldn't get me to show up to a desk job where I could like take out my book and read for 8 hours. You couldn't get me to show up to that job for less than $20 an hour. That is the wage you need to be charging anymore. And she's like, that's...
I could see between 15 and 20 being okay if you're a two-income household, depending on how old you are and what you're spending your money on.
Too much, I can't afford that. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't afford that? Your gardens cost like $500,000. You could...
It costs $500,000, you can afford it.
Literally just tack on a $5,000 administration fee to every single thing you sell. And
this isn't her video, by the way. The buzzing, like, that's not me.
Blah, blah, no one wants to work anymore. And I'm like, not for $12 an hour. I was like, Mom, the job that I have, just like answering phones and doing emails like an administrative assistant, I'm paid $20 an hour. And she was like, oh, are you doing QuickBooks? You should be doing QuickBooks if you're administrative. And I was like, QuickBooks is an accounting software. If I was doing QuickBooks, I'd demand to be paid at least $50 an hour. And she was like, no, that's too much. And I'm like, you guys, your whole generation is so out of touch with what the going rate for everything is. She's like, I don't need your advice. And I'm like, okay, have fun getting stolen from for the next couple of years.
Okay, let's pause this, girl, and let's bring up the old calculator and do some math. Where I live, a one-bedroom apartment is about $1,100. Let's just add on $200 for utilities. Say you really suck at turning your lights off, you use a lot of water, etc. Let's see, I used to be able to feed myself as a single dude on like $100 a week, so let's say that's $400 a month. Let's say you got a car payment. Let's say you suck at finances, so we'll kind of highball that. What do you think the average person pays on their car payment? I'm going to go with like $350. That's kind of generous. We'll go with like $400. Excuse me. With insurance and everything included. So let's see, we're already at $2,100, right? Let's go ahead and Control-C that number. Oh, hold on, $2,100. Boost Mobile for a phone service for me, $50 a week. That shit's starting to add up. Alright, cool. Now, let us figure out how to use a calculator. Control-C that. Let's go 12 times 40. Let's redo that. Yeah, 12 times 40. Let's just times that by 10%. I think something's wrong. Let's go 12 times 40 hours a week. Times, we'll do 10% in taxes, even though it's probably not correct. So what, 480 minus 48. 432 times 4 times in a month. Boom. You're already at a loss. What was our previous number? So let's see. This is 2,150. So let's go. Let's Control C this. 2,150 minus. You're taking a $422 loss every month. Dude, nobody can afford to work for the shitty wages around here of $12 an hour. And there's some businesses that are like, I don't know, $8, $9 an hour. I think she hit the nail right on the head. My advice, don't take a shit job, run the numbers. Case closed. Alright, we got time for one more here. It's starting to get little long. We'll end it with something a little less extreme. Why do people recommend lifting more sets to build strength and endurance? Isn't that backwards? It seems like since strength training is about pure force and fast twitch muscles and is more affected by fatigue, it would be better to do fewer sets. On the other hand, endurance training seems like it would be more optimized by more sets because it challenges your lungs, mitochondria, and slow twitch muscle fibers more. So why do some people say 4 to 5 sets for strength and 2 to 3 for endurance? That doesn't make any freaking sense to me, dude. If you're going to do endurance, you probably want to do a lot of volume, right? People that are saying like do high volume and doing the bro split of like the shoulders, the chest, all that, those people are on steroids or they're following people who were on steroids. If you look at natural bodybuilders, a lot of them are using some kind of 5x5 program, right? So it's usually typically the 4 to 5 sets for strength. That makes sense because you want to put the maximum weight on that bar, and obviously you can't lift the maximum amount of weight that you can lift comfortably in 4 to 5 sets using an 8 to 12 rep scheme, right? So it's like a linear progression over time. Also, you need rest days. You can't just be lifting day after day after day. If you want endurance, that's a totally different ballgame. That's 2 totally different ways of lifting. So I think you got to really choose whether you want strength or endurance. You can hybrid them, but you got to focus on one more than the other. It's kind of like majoring in a degree, right? You can't major in every subject, but you can concentrate in sub-subjects. See what the internet has to say here. You're overthinking it. More sets due to less reps. Less sets because more reps. I'll add another thing in here too. When people are doing the 5x5 and they're doing like the 4 to 5 sets, they're not doing a back-to-back-to-back and supersetting the shit, right? They're usually waiting like a minute to 2 minutes so your ATP, your adenosine triphosphate, can rebuild so you can actually lift that weight again and again and again so you get that adaptation. Blah, 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 because you only have access to true strength for a short period of time, but the remaining strength comes back if you wait a bit, so higher sets are needed to break down muscle fibers enough for serious gains. To explain further, when you train for strength, you are training your type 2X muscle fiber. It runs off of stored energy in the muscle and outputs a huge amount of force, but you burn through that stored energy incredibly fast, so you need to stop after you burn that stored energy and let it replenish, hence the rest between sets. Endurance fiber. There you go. This dude's on the money. Type 2A for the purposes of this conversation. On the other hand, it gets its energy from oxygen flow from your blood, which means it doesn't burn out so quickly. And you can run on it for longer. A lot longer, in fact, because where Type 2X fails, about after 1 minute of working, Type 2A can go up to an hour. That's like your second wind when you're doing a long run. With all that in mind, muscle growth is generally speaking initiated due to damage the muscle takes during lifting. Hence, you need rest days. If you're not doing rest days, you're just destroying your body. So it's way harder to damage your 2X muscle type. Way harder to damage your type 2X fibers significantly because they run out of energy so fast. Type 2A, on the other hand, can run as long as you really need to create the micro tears necessary to initiate the muscle growth. So you need more sets to train true strength because you have to wait in between each set. Bingo, right here. To make sure you target the right muscle fiber and also sufficiently damage that fiber and cause it to grow. Also, you need recovery. Look up recovery. Case closed. We'll do one more. One more. What do you feel about a woman buying you a drink? I am 28, female, and have bought numerous male friends and dates drinks. I want to know what is respectful and what is awkward. Here's my advice. Who cares? I would love to be bought a drink, personally. I mean, not now, because, I'm married and whatnot, but shit, if you're going to buy me a drink, why look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Here we go. Don't mind a free drink. Free drink's a free drink, right? This one, I was kind of broke recently, leading a pretty frugal lifestyle for a few months. I had a few good female friends who bought me dinner, drinks, everything. I thought it was super, super nice. Usually we try to flip-flop on who pays, but to have multiple friends really look out for me for a while gave me a really warm feeling, blah, blah, blah. My now partner paid for my dinner the first time I saw her. That's cool. That doesn't happen a lot. Yeah, you can throw traditional gender shit out the window because, it's a brave new world, and what worked for your grandparents' generation is not what works for this generation. It's just a whole new formula, a whole new mathematics. Adapt or die, baby. Anyways, that's all we got for today. It's your boy App. I'm a random guy who gives random advice to random strangers on the internet. If we would love to cover something other than Reddit, my email address is linked below. Go ahead and smash that fucking like button. Leave me email. Ask me for some advice, and I will respond for better or worse. We'll see you next time. Stay up.